There he is. Oh, this is a big fish. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Kingfish Outdoors. My name's Chris, and I'm going to be taking you along on my fishing adventure today. It is the last week of February, which means that spring is right around the corner. In fact, today is one of the first days. It's starting to get a little bit warmer out. It's supposed to get into the mid-60s this afternoon. I am out here bright and early at one of my favorite lake parks, and we are going to fish hard today. The name of the game is covering water. We are going to try to hit as many different spots as possible, and I am taking you along for the ride. Let's see what we can find. All right, guys, check out how cool this spot is. We got the water coming up over the dam, feeding down into this little creek. And this little creek is a great place to do some ultralight fishing, which we will definitely try out this afternoon, maybe once it gets a little warmer outside. Check this out. This whole pool that the dam feeds into is an opportunity for us to catch some fish. We'll definitely give that a shot. All right, will this be our staircase to heaven today? We're gonna have to find out. And here we are. Beautiful. All right, you guys, our first spot of the day is gonna be right off the side of this dam. You can peek around the corner right there and see where the water comes off. And then we're gonna try fishing all the way down the shoreline here and around up onto that trail. And we're gonna see what we can explore this morning. And then a little later on afternoon, we're gonna try over on that side. All right. First thing that we are gonna throw is this giant swim bait. It is pretty trendy to throw a giant swim bait for bass right now. We're gonna see if we can get a bite on it. Never thrown something this big for bass before. You think they'll care that it looks like a mullet? Only one way to find out. Let's see how this looks in the water. Kind of needs some speed in order to get the tail moving. So let's give it a try. Let's see if we can find out what all this hype's about. Chuck that thing out there by those buoys. Lots of birds out this morning. I don't see any topwater activity. It's probably still a little too cold for that. More chuck out there. Are we snagged? Yeah, we were snagged on something. I don't think that was a fish. Wasn't fighting at all. But we got it back, which is good. Don't want to lose that big swim bait. Let's just check on this thing. Still in good shape. Leader looks good. Hook point's sharp. Let's try one more time. Even though there was a snag over there, could be structure for some fish to hang out on. I'm just slow rolling this big swim bait, trying to feel anything I can feel. here comes the express train. That'd be pretty cool to ride, huh? Luck on the big swim bait, but let's give this little Texas rig a try. And the going's tough. That's what I throw. And it usually gets the job done. We're just trying to get that first fish on the board for today. Guys, I just saw a cormorant over there catch what looks like a big shad or something. So maybe that big swim bait I was throwing wasn't so silly after all. Looks like there might be fish around that size that are getting fed on in this lake. So maybe I'll try throwing that again. I wonder if you can see the fish hanging out of his mouth on camera. He's really trying to swallow that thing. You can't skip meals when you're planning to be out fishing all day, or else you'll crash. Let's see if there's any bass hiding out by this structure. Lots of fallen trees right here and logs. Gotten to this little point with an orange buoy. Maybe there could be some fish hiding over there. I did not get any action on my big swim bait, even though there were some birds feeding on some bait that were around that size. So instead, I'm going to try this red crankbait. I think it's a KVD square bill and chili craw color. And this is supposed to be a good presentation for the early spring because the crawdads start to come out around that time of year. And there is nothing that a bass likes to eat more than a tasty crawdad. Looks like you picked up a leaf. There's a lot of stuff in the water, and it's not very deep over there, believe it or not. So that crankbait seems to be picking up a bunch of stuff from the bottom. Well, it got something on it. It's annoying. Oh, I think it's a fish. Oh, no. Yeah, totally a fish, a 3-pounder. That got me good. That got me good. My line was moving weird. It's just because it was a stick. It's making big circles, which means it's got something on there. All right, obviously, crankbait is not the way to go here. So far, we have fished most of that shoreline all along there with the rocks. And we went over to this point as well and casted off the end of it into the lake and into the mouth of this creek, but we have not been able to score a single bite. Guys, I don't know if this is gonna show up on camera, but with my polarized sunglasses, I can see several little bass sitting right there along the shoreline. All right, we're gonna do a little sight fishing. Oh no, right off the tree. That's not sight fishing at all. Oh, we're wrapped around too. Oh, we're totally screwed. Totally scared those bass away with my bad cast over that tree branch, but we're gonna give it a shot anyway. Oh, I saw one go by. Sneak up on them. Casting my shadow right over the water, which doesn't help. Alright, I got it right over there under the bridge. Let's see if we can get anything this way. So unfortunately, we did not get a good cast in at those bass because as soon as I went for it, I made an amateur cast right over a tree branch and got it wrapped around, so I had to spend a minute getting it untangled. But I think what I've learned is that they're sitting in the sun trying to warm themselves up. So whenever I see a spot that looks a little bit sunny, I'm gonna see if there's any fish in there. There we go. Still no fish yet, but I did notice up in this tree, can you see it? That's a nice looking jointed swim bait. Maybe I can hook it on the end of my rod and pull it out of the tree. Salvage mission is a go. We've got Hat Cam online, and we're gonna try to see if we can't get that swim bait up there without getting our boots full of water. How far out can I wade? All right, there we go. I'm also armed with line cutters in case we need them. All right. There we go. Almost got it hooked on there. Take some finesse. There we go. Oh, not yet. All right. Come on, Mr. Treble Hook. There we go. Got it hooked on there. It's a pretty weak twig that it's on. I might be able to shake it right out. Salvage master if we get this one. I don't want to break my guide on accident. Ooh, that thing's on a snap swivel. That's not going to be helpful. Oh, I think I might have gotten it a little loosened. Now it's just on the line up there. If I could even just get it down to me, I might be able to cut it out of the tree. That's a nice little jointed swim bait. Bait caster very precariously hung in this tree, so that way I can do this double grab method. Oh yeah, now we got it twice. Yeah, this tree doesn't stand a chance. Look at that, success. Oh yeah, the double fishing pole method has come in handy. I've actually gotten another lure doing that before. All right, spirits lifted. We have not been able to get a bite all day, but we are honestly the salvage kings for getting that one back. Mac shad. Ooh, that looks like a nice lure. Does look like there was another treble hook, but it probably got ripped out when this person was trying to get it back. I might be able to give that a little repair job. Sweet. All right, guys, there's a better look at that cool lure we salvaged. Little Mac Shad 90. Cool. It's missing a treble hook, but it would still work, and I bet you we could even repair it. But it's a nice little find. Yeah, right on there. Guess nobody's home. Guys, look at this. There's like an entire dead deer in the water. It's kind of sad. Wonder what happened to him. Probably disease or something. I was thinking about fishing this little point, but then I looked up and I saw this giant wasp's nest that's just precariously hanging from a twig. It's just like a cartoon situation waiting to happen where a huge bundle of wasps hits somebody on the head. This is my final stop for this section of the trail. It looks pretty fishy, doesn't it? This fallen tree could definitely give some structure for some bass to be hiding up on. But we have not found them yet. The only bass I've seen today were hiding near the bridge, sunning themselves in the shallow water, and I tried to cast at them, but I spooked them off. All right. Let's see if we can pull a fish off some of this debris here.
there he is. Oh, this is a big fish. There we go. Oh, yes. No, don't you go anywhere. Ah, yeah. There we go. Look at that beautiful fish. There we go. It's a nice one. All right, let's get this baby on the scale. Oh man, we had to work for this fish, guys. But that is a nice one. Even it out. Get her right under the lip. This is a big, fat bass. That belly is huge. Give me your lip. There we go. All right. Oh, yes. $3.76, almost 4 pounds. That is a really nice fish, guys. Believe it or not, that is the biggest bass I have caught in Virginia thus far. Look at that tail. She's been sitting in the mud. She's got so many black spots on her. Wow. All right, you guys, look at that beauty. This is a beautiful pre-spawn bass. You can tell that she's probably full of eggs. Look at how full and thick that belly is. Oh yeah, that's a chunky one. I think this might be actually my new PB. I am no professional bass fisherman. I have not caught any 5-pounders, but close to a 4-pounder is a great fish for me. Oh man, that is a beautiful bass. All right, we are gonna let her go now. Oh, actually, I might have to get a quick pick first. All right, this big girl has been so patient with me, so we are gonna give her a nice gentle release. Yeah. Get your breath. Come on, big mama. Yeah. She has such interesting colors on her. Look at those black spots. They are not just mud. That is part of the fish. Wow. I had to work so hard for this fish, but it is a nice one, and it was so worth it. Really got a good hook set on her too. All right, are you ready? Yeah. Woo! Let's go! Oh my God, I am so stoked right now, guys. We had to work so hard for that fish. I've been out here since about 7:30, and I believe it's about 12:30 now. So I have been on the grind for a long time. We lost a fish right up underneath that tree behind me. And then I tried my crankbait and I snagged it and lost it. So I was like, oh no, we are totally down. And then I just tried casting my Texas rig in a new spot, and immediately as soon as it hit the water, thum, 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 I felt the thump. I reeled up to it, and boom, set the hook, just like my buddy Chad taught me. Thanks, bro. I appreciate the bait caster advice. That big bass was sitting right there in the sun, trying to warm herself up, just like I learned from those smaller bass that were up under the bridge earlier today. All right, you guys, we are headed back in the direction of the car, and I am pretty wiped so far. We need to go ahead and refuel, pack some lunch, take a nice break, and charge up our GoPro too, because it died just at the end of that fight with the fish that I just caught. So hopefully I got some good footage on that. And I'll see you guys very shortly. We're gonna keep this day on a rolling. All refueled and recharged, so it's time to give a little crack down here by the creek. I brought my lighter set up for this. Gonna use One of my favorite lures, just a little curly-tailed grub and a little jig head. And there's a good amount of water flowing through here, so we might see some bass. Wow, snagged on the first throw. There we go. Let's try that again. Fish a little bit faster this time so it's not getting caught on the bottom. Oh, the creek is kind of strange right now because it seems like there's a good amount of water coming out from the dam, and yet it's still so shallow over here that I get snagged almost every cast. So let's try working our way up and fishing a little closer towards the dam. Time of year when it's a little drier, you can actually walk along that railing all the way to the end and fish near that corner on the back wall. And we'll have to come back and do that again sometimes because it's pretty fun ultralight fishing over there. I tried fishing at the dam and in the creek for a while, but the conditions don't seem to be quite right today, so I think I might come back another time and give it a shot, as well as go all the way up to the top of that bridge behind me and see what lies at the very end of the trail. I hear that there's an island that you can try fishing and casting towards if you get to a certain point on that trail, so we'll have to go explore it sometime. But for now, I am pretty wiped. We fished a long and hard day today, and I think we were successful. We actually broke our PB, which is kind of hard to believe. I caught a 3.75, and my previous best out of Florida was 3.5 pounds. So we beat it by a quarter pound, kind of hard to believe.